Good morning, comic book fam. Good morning, and welcome to another fantastic review. And today we're gonna be talking about another Wolverine book. This time we're gonna be talking about the issue number 3 of Black, White, and Blood. And again, is this book really good? Well, to be quite honest, I was surprised. It's definitely better than the issue number 2. It has some significant names. It has Donny Cates, for example, and yeah, I've been kind of saying things about Donny Cates, and his tour run, but you know what? The more I read the Venom, the more I read King in Black, this, like, he is slowly growing on me, right? Like, really, he is slowly growing on me, so it's not as bad. So here we got 3 stories in this book, and they are as follows: 32 Warriors, artist John, writer John Ridley with the Jorge Fornes, that's an artist, and the art in that story is really good. Like, I did enjoy the art. It's exactly what you want from a book like Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood. And John Ridley is doing a really good job in terms of writing. I would like to see him writing more. Then we got Burn with Donny Cates, again, doing a good job as a writer, but Chris Bacallo and Chris, we need to talk. So, if you're gonna be able to tell me, literally, what is happening here, like, this art, I mean, it's unreadable. Like, I went through that story 3 times, and it was just bad. It was unreadable. It's a mess. This art style is one big mess. It's like a one big, smudge with dialogues that are really good. And the last story is, of course, Red Planet Blues with Jed Mackey as a writer and Jesus Says as an artist. Completely different way of drawing, almost hyper realistic, but it does work for Wolverine's story. So let's get to this book, right? I'm gonna be judging all 3 stories separately and then overall, because I feel like with short stories like that, you kind of have to do it that way, right? Like the same way I'm doing it with Future State, where we have really good beginnings, beginning stories, and the backup ones are just trash sometimes. So let's get to the first one. 32 Warriors, A Broken Heart. So we kick off again with a gorgeous art. Like, honestly, this is clear art. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you are working with minimal colors, actually 3, the art, it has to be clear. I must know what I'm seeing. It's like, you can't really give an art that is not clear. Look at that. This is exactly, know what you're looking at. It's gory. It's filled with blood. I love it. So we kick off this story with Logan actually fighting one of oh, what was his name? You see, like, I forgot his name. Wait. His name is here. There we go. Canuccio. You see, like, you can forget about the name. So, he's fighting Canuccio, and he's like, hey, it feels like I'm immortal. To be honest, I can't die. I probably had this battle with this guy, like, multiple times, like, 5 months in the future, 1 year, I don't know, who cares? Let's fight. So, we learn, and all of that, there's like no dialogue. It's all a inner dialogue of Wolverine, which is quite cool. So we learned that he has a daughter, and her daughter is named Amiko because her mother, when she was dying, begged Wolverine, like, hey, take care of my kid. And he was like, cool, I'm gonna do that. So he took care of her, and of course, Wolverine has a wife, so they both actually took care of her. But because they are both, and he says that, right? Because I was occupied with the X-Men, right? Mariko had her own, right? That's his wife, had her own things and her own, like, weird shit going on. Well, they've sent the Amiko, the daughter, to the Yamaguchi school, like a school in Yamaguchi, which was well-paid school, right? And he says that it's well-paid school, like tons of teachers, really good ones, but she was lacking the family, she was lacking the parents. So her brother, which is kind of a villain, and he is the Canuccio, took her, like, kidnapped her from there, and was like, well, if you're not gonna take care of her, you have to, I'm taking it, that's my sister, right? But hey, I'm a villain at the same time. But that's a different story. So he goes like, okay, you can have your daughter back if you're gonna beat up 32 warriors. So that's where it starts, right? This kick off with, of course, ninjas. So we got 13 ninjas. Then we've got, of course, beautiful battle against 10 Ronins. And, like, the art is just great. Like, you can clearly tell what is happening. And that's what I like. Clearly, minimal color, but you can clearly tell what is happening. So they beat up ninjas, they beat up Ronins. Then they fight monks. Of course, gorgeous, gorgeous art. And then, after the beating monks, there were 2 samurais. And they were fighting, but one of them actually hurt Mariko. There we go. That is the moon, right? She's bleeding. Like, this is really cool stuff. Wait, let me just... There you go. Really cool art. I mean, look at that. It's just gorgeous. She's bleeding. But, Wolverine kills them as well. So he goes like, all right, listen. Who's last, right? He's like, no, you still got 2 to go. And almost last one, or next to last... is actually why I don't know why it's skipping. Why are you skipping? I do not know. Sorry for that. So almost last is actually the brother of the daughter they're trying to save. Kanuchio. See, like, you can't remember the names, but Kanuchio, right? They beat him and they go like, all right, those are 31 warriors. Who is the last one? And the last one is Amiko. Right, she is pissed off, and she tells Wolverine like, hey, you left me, like, there was no love, like, you thought you were the parents, you're F you, like, you're not a parents at all, like, you left me out there. And Wolverine goes like, I can't fight her, like, she is kind of my daughter, so, like, I can't, like, punch her in the face and kill her, and she has a blade, right, she has all the hate in the world, so he lets her swing with her samurai blade. It doesn't kill him because he's a Wolverine, but he makes that remark like, it touched my heart, which is the organ that heals the slowest, so I'm gonna kind of feel that for next couple of days. And as she's slashing through Wolverine, she understands like, okay, this doesn't help me, it helped me figure this stuff out, but it doesn't help. So she collapses, she cries, and they take her home, and they're right now a happy family because Wolverine has to recover. They're like, okay, let's be a family again. So really good story, solid 9. Why not 10? Too short. I wanted more of that story, but it's a solid 9 out of 10. Really good story and a really good art. Then we go to Donny Cates' story with the artist Chris Bacalo, and here is where my problem starts. Like, when you start reading it, because I didn't look at it, this is the case, I'm like, alright, I'm just going to read the book, I don't care who the writer is. I was like, this feels like Donny Cates' writing, and actually it was. I'm like, cool, it felt that way, but the art made this story bad. It made me not want to get into that story, right? Like, when you're fighting with when you have minimal colors, there are things you can do and there are things you can't do. And first of all, you have to make panels be readable. Like, I'm looking at the art, I have to know what it is. Like, I just, you saw me like just, doing this, and I just noticed that there's Spider-Man here. Like, I didn't notice him, that there's Wolverine here, again, Captain America shield. Like, those are the things I didn't notice the first time I was reading it, because you can't. You really can't. Like, look at that. Like, they are there. Like, it's a big smudge of stuff. Like, it's too much. It is too much. So Wolverine is in the bar, and he goes like, oh, Frank, it's you, right? So we got a cosmic Ghostrider meeting Wolverine. And he goes like, oh yeah, I'm here because I've always heard the stories about you, about this moment, right? Because you were playing poker, and I was always hearing about the story. He's like, what story? Oh, about this guy. And let's just guess, because there's like, you can later they tell you who it is, but let's just guess, who is that guy? This is literally a blub. This is literally one, like a smudge. The art is that bad. Like, I look at this panel for like couple of minutes, I'm like, who the hell is that? Like, even later panels, like, look at this whole thing. Like, of course, yes, this panel is maybe a giveaway for someone who knows, but like for many, this is really bad art. So it's a Juggernaut, right? So Juggernaut attacks, and Wolverine was not prepared for it. So Ghostrider goes like, huh, that's not how the story went. Did I screw something up, okay, this means I screwed something up, so I'm gonna help. So he helps Wolverine. They both beat up on the Juggernaut in the worst art so far. I mean, like, those are just, you see, this is the thing. Not every artist can do really well with only 3 colors, and this is exactly this type of art that is just not doing well. It's unreadable, and dialogue does help, but it's just not that great. So they beat up Juggernaut, and they go like, all right, so when are you gonna be telling the story? Yeah, Cosmic Ghostrider, I've done it myself. Screw you. It's like, okay, let's drink. It's like a nice short, like the story itself is not bad. It's like a nice 8 out of 10. It's what you want from Wolverine, right? A bit of a drinking, a bit of fighting, great. But the art is really bad. So for this story, it's 5 out of 10 because of the art. Like, if I have to really look at the art and have to figure out throughout the panels who the hell is attacking him, then we got a problem, especially when you have a contrast to that, to hyper-realistic story that is next. And this is the story about the Mars. So Wolverine goes to Mars because there are 4 guys that want to destroy Earth, and they want to start a brand new civilization, brand new humanity, which makes sense. So Wolverine tries to sneak up on them, but he is being attacked by one of their robots. They have like one predator-like robot that Wolverine can't really smell, sniff, or anything. He can't figure out that it's there, so he's being attacked. And that robot actually takes a side, like literally burns off eyes of Wolverine. So we got really cool shots like that, like Wolverine without his eyes. So Wolverine can't fight it, like he's trying, but he's like, I have to figure something out. And that's where all those, like all the 4 guys are starting to talk. And they're starting to, explain to Wolverine what they're doing. And by explaining that, they are actually exposing the one big flaw of course, that robot. Because the robot is, again, if he's gonna stand in between me talking and you, of course the sound barrier is gonna be like, you're not going to hear it. And that's exactly what is happening. And it's really cool in terms of paneling, because that's what they're doing over here. Like, they're talking, and you can see the killer, the robot, in between the word bubbles. It's really cool. I saw that, I'm like, yeah, that's where this is going. That's what's going to happen. And that's exactly what happens, right? Wolverine kills him, kills all the guys, takes the helmet with them as a present to his friend. He's like, oh yeah, limited series, 1 of 4, there you go. And that is it. A nice short story, 7 out of 10 definitely. Art is gorgeous, story is good. I mean, yeah, it's really nice. It's a shame that Kate's story actually was kind of destroyed by the art. That is just really bad and unreadable. But hey, we can't have everything sometimes, right? So what I think in general about this book, it is really good. Probably, I'm happy that we're buying actually single issues, because I don't think I would go for trade paperback of that, and I would miss out on really cool ideas. But also, if I would go for trade paperback, I would be like, that certain art is just bad, and yeah, the same way as I'm doing here. But it feels like because of, so many delays that this book had, because like it's February, it should have already ended, and we're still waiting for it because like it's been delayed. They could have told that one artist like, dude, the fuck, work on that, or like I don't know, change a few panels. But it's one of those things. Like, I would rather see Stegman and Stegman's art right in that story, because I mean, like, look at that. Like, this is just this doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. And you can have a mayhem that you can clearly see, right? So that is my problem. So what is my opinion on that book? I think it's a solid 7 out of 10, right? Like, we got story that is 9, story that is 5, and then a story when it's 7. So this kind of gives us, this nice medium, nice 7 overall, right? Like, it does work. I've got 9, 5, and 9, 7, 5. So overall, like, it's a nice 7 out of 10, which does make sense. And this is what the book is. Definitely, it is a lot better issue than the previous one. I enjoyed it a lot more, and I would like. And again, there's another story that I would like to see unfold in a full ongoing series. I would like them to do the Black White Blood ongoing series, because I feel like Wolverine deserves that. But also, I know it's going to be really hard to write that and to pick the right artist to books like that. Because if they would put, that guy, yeah, no one's going to buy that. Like, you have to have a right artist for things like that. It's cool that they are experimenting, but, some people just should figure out, like, hey, it's not my style of drawing. So 7 out of 10. Take it, buy it. Definitely, if you can get it, below cover price, you're gonna love it. For cover price, it's still okay, but above cover price, no, it doesn't make any sense to buy it above cover price. So that is it. That is my review of that book. Thank you so much for watching that. Goodbye. Gonna have a fantastic rest of the day, comic book fam. Take care. Bye.